lockdown is a shield against corona menace, says Prime Minister in Mann Ki Baat. People have a sigh of relief after listening to PM Modi. Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal lauds Generation Next for their role in fighting COVID-19, calls them Corona warriors. Indian Oil assures countrymen there is enough petrol, diesel and cooking gas to last way beyond the 3-week lockdown. Number of confirmed cases of novel coronavirus shoots up to 979. That toll climbs to 25. And Indian Railways joins fight against COVID-19, converts coaches into isolation wards. Good evening, viewers. Welcome to the Northeast News Bulletin. This is Saraswati Singha. Now the news in details. In national news first, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that social distancing is the most effective way of fighting against COVID-19, and by complying with the lockdown, people are protecting themselves. Sharing his thoughts in the Mann Ki Baat program of All India Radio today, Modi said everyone has to protect themselves and their families. The Prime Minister said that in order to battle corona in a country of 130 crore people, there was no other option but to go in for a lockdown. The fight against corona is between life and death, and that is why such strong measures had to be restored too. Modi extended a heartfelt apology to all countrymen and said he strongly feels from the core of his heart that the people will forgive him because he had to take certain decisions which may be resulting in myriad hardships. He especially mentioned the underprivileged brothers and sisters and said he fully understands what they are going through.
Not just from their homes, but from outside.
साथियों, इस लड़ाई के अनेकों योद्धा ऐसे हैं जो घरों में नहीं, घरों के बाहर रहकर कोरोना वायरस का मुकाबला कर रहे हैं। मैंने ऐसे कुछ लोगों से फोन पर बात की है। उनका उत्साह भी बढ़ाया है और उनसे बातें करके मेरा भी उत्साह बढ़ा है। मैंने उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा है।
He further said in this battle against COVID-19, there are
people at large appear to be somewhat relieved after listening to what Prime Minister Narendra Modi said about the fight against the coronavirus pandemic in his Mann Ki Baat program. A pharmacist in Guwahati, Rupam Roy, keeps his medicine outlet open for the people in need. During the lockdown, he shares his experience with us.
तो हम लोग तो मेडिसिन दुकान हमेशा जितनी भी मुश्किल हो, लेकिन मेडिसिन दुकान तो खुलना ही पड़ते हैं। तो लोग आते हैं, हम लोग पहले वो लोग बाहर में पानी और साबुन वगैरह रखा हुआ है, सैनिटाइजर भी रखा हुआ है, लोग को हैंड वॉश करना पड़ता है और हम लोग मास्क लगा के रखते हैं, 1 मीटर का डिस्टेंस बना के रखते हैं और हम लोग साथ साथ में सर्किल जगह जगह में सर्किल भी बना दिया है कि लोगों को डिस्टेंस मेंटेन हो।
আজি এই মাত্র এজনে কৈছে যে দোকান তাতে খোলা আছে যাব পাৰা, বলে আজি নাযাওঁ ৰবিবাৰ কালি যাম আৰু দাদাই আৰু হাক দিছে, কৈছে কি যিখিনি আছে সেইখিনি বেছি থাক, তাৰপিছত তাৰ ক'তো বদলাবি। মানে ৰাতিপুৱা অলপ সময় খুলো আৰু পিছবেলা অলপ সময় খুলো।
In more national news, as thousands of migrant workers take to the streets to walk back to their villages across states, the centre said today that all those who have travelled during the lockdown period will be put under mandatory 14-day quarantine at government facilities. Those who have violated the lockdown and travelled during the period of lockdown will be subject to minimum 14 days of quarantine in government quarantine facilities. Detailed instructions on monitoring of such persons during quarantine have been issued to states, the Union Ministry of Information and Broadcasting said in a statement. The government has stressed that states should make arrangements to pay the migrant labourers in the city where they were working, and has also stated that rent should not be asked from such labourers or students, advising action should be taken against those who are asking labourers or students to vacate the premises. In Assam, Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal today had a word of praise for the Generation Next. In a tweet, Sonowal said, and I quote, "My young friends are establishing themselves in fight against COVID-19, unquote. He urged people to learn about do's and don'ts about the pandemic from a video uploaded on the website @MyGov Assam.
নকৰা নকৰা নকৰিবা আলিংগন নকৰা নকৰা কৰ মৰ্দন
Indian Oil Corporation IOC Chairman Sanjeev Singh has said the country has enough petrol, diesel and cooking gas in stocks to last way beyond this 3-week nationwide lockdown as all plants and supply locations are fully operational. Singh said customers should not resort to panic booking of LPG refills. He said IOC has mapped the demand for all fuel for entire April and beyond, and its refineries are operating at levels enough to meet all the demand. The nationwide lockdown has shut business, suspended flights, stopped trains and brought almost the entire vehicular movement to a halt. This has impacted fuel demand, with petrol, diesel and aviation turbine fuel registering a fall in demand.
And LPG bottling plants are functioning normally. Indian Oil employees, along with its channel partners, dealers, distributors, delivery boys, pump attendants, transporters, are working round the clock.
In Assam, the daily meeting of state-level task force to review the status and action for management of COVID-19 was held under the chairmanship of Chief Secretary Kumar Sanjay Krishna today at Janata Bhavan, Dispur. The meeting discussed in details about the actions taken so far and the current status of social distancing measures as a preventive strategy and the stringent actions to contain the spread of COVID-19. Later, the Chief Secretary had a video conference with all the Deputy Commissioners and took stock of the situation. He directed all the Deputy Commissioners to ensure that essential commodities should reach the people during the lockdown. Agriculture, farming and allied activities have been exempted from the lockdown. The decision has been taken with a view to addressing problems being faced by the farming community. This will also ensure uninterrupted harvesting of crops. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Modi Singh Tomar has been constantly monitoring issues related to the farmers ever since the lockdown was enforced. He was appraised of the difficulties the farmers could face in harvesting their crops and transporting food grains to the mandis. The decision will also allow unhindered harvesting of crops. Under the second addendum issued by the Union Home Ministry, the categories that have been exempted from the lockdown include agencies engaged in procurement of agriculture products such as minimum support price operations. With fresh deaths reported in 6 states, the death toll due to COVID-19 climbed to 25 and the total number of cases to 979 in the country today, according to the Union Health Ministry. 1 death was reported each from Delhi, Gujarat, Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra and Telangana. The ministry said the number of active COVID-19 cases in the country is 867, while 86 people were either cured or discharged and 1 had migrated. The overall cases in the country include 48 foreigners. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said the very idea of using a disease as a weapon is viewed with repugnance. He, however, urged the international community to remain vigilant as scientific advances are reducing technical barriers that earlier limited the potential of biological weapons. The United Nations chief, in his message on the 45th anniversary of the Biological Weapons Convention's entry into force, said all countries should reaffirm their unequivocal rejection of the use of diseases as a weapon. The outbreak, which began in China, has now spread to almost every country in the world. Globally, there are 652,079 confirmed COVID-19 cases and more than 30,000 people have died of the disease so far. Meghalaya is yet to witness a single case of COVID-19, said State Deputy Chief Minister Priston Tinsong. Addressing media persons in Shillong, Tinsong said that so far the state has reported no positive case. He said that over 3,000 samples have been tested in Meghalaya, all of which turned out to be negative. The state government, however, is not taking any chances and has come up with 4 dedicated quarantine centers, 2 each in Shillong and Tura respectively. In Shillong, IIM campus and Marti building, Maudyangdang have been converted into quarantine centers. In Tripura also, Health Secretary Dr. Debashish Basu informed the media in Agartala that no positive case of coronavirus has been reported in the state till now. As per the latest corona status report, altogether 5,316 persons are under surveillance in Tripura. 49 persons are under quarantine in various centers. As many as 5,267 persons are under home quarantine. A new 30-bed isolation ward will be set up at the new building of IGM Hospital by the first week of April. Indian Railways is preparing to convert train coaches into isolation wards in its fight against coronavirus pandemic to meet the increasing demand for beds. To start with, the NF Railway is converting coaches at the coach maintenance depot in Kamakhya and Guwahati into isolation wards after consulting medical professionals at NF Railway Central Hospital, Maligaon. A non-AC sleeper coach has been converted into an isolation ward for patients suffering from COVID-19. Each cabin has been converted into an independent isolation ward, which will accommodate one patient. There are 9 such cabins in one coach each. And before we wind up the bulletin, a recap of the headlines. Lockdown is a shield against corona menace, says Prime Minister in Mann Ki Baat. People heave a sigh of relief after listening to PM Modi. Assam Chief Minister Sarbananda Sonowal lauds Generation Next for their role in fighting COVID-19, calls them Corona warriors. Indian Oil assures countrymen there is enough petrol, diesel and cooking gas to last way beyond the 3-week lockdown. Number of confirmed cases of novel coronavirus shoots up to 979. That toll climbs to 25. And Indian Railways joins fight against COVID-19, converts coaches into isolation wards. And that brings us to the end of this evening's bulletin. Thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.